See, pants? I spray painted it white, but the paint just chips right off horribly. Oh, and you see that, pants? I used a zip tie for my... I just took this bike through the woods now, and the rim got full of dirt. So far, I have ridden approximately 16 miles. Rim is about halfway worn down from the height it was earlier. The brakes are still fully functional, but you see that? There's a small crack in the rim. I think that may be how it fails. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to keep riding it until something happens. The brakes are getting bad because this jagged edge is really wearing them out. I was riding fast at the beginning, but now I'm starting to go slow. This is lasting much longer than I expected it to. I expected it to be gone very quickly. But this thing, I've been beating it, going over bumps. I keep slamming the brakes on for this thing scrapes. It's lasting a lot longer than I expected. There's a can stuck on that one. Down the road, a new problem has just started occurring. In the front, there's nothing wrong, but in the back, 3 of the spokes have already come undone. Because at the end of it, there's a small nut. Because you can see the threads there. There's a nut on the end of them all. A few of them that is already broken or fallen off from all the rumbling. I've lost 3 of them so far. It's not noticeable. You can't feel it. I could hear it because they're loose. I'm going to keep riding until this thing bends or something. I'm now at about 18 miles on it. I probably would have been able to go further on this. I think I broke those spokes because I was stupid and went over a curb with it. And without the insulation of the tire, the rim took it all. It didn't dent the rim, it just broke a few spokes. Loud. Quiet. Loud. Quiet. Loud again. Okay, almost 26 miles, and I cannot ride this anymore. About 5 minutes ago, this happened. One of the spokes bent down over the chain. It was still rideable. It was just skipping occasionally. But almost half of the spokes now are gone. There's 4 in a row. And pretty much everyone's weak. But it just snapped there at the welding. Because this was not a solid wheel. It was a welded wheel. So that just snapped. And there's not enough spokes to hold it together. I tried riding it further like that. But it's just going to bend. And if it bends, I got to carry it. As it is now, I can at least roll it back until I can throw it out. And about a half hour ago, there was this cop directing traffic while they were cutting down a tree. And he wanted to talk to me about the bike because he thought it was hilarious. And he kept making stupid jokes about it, like that's a horrible place for a water bottle. You see that it's being held on by a zip tie. It wasn't there when I started. It was all the way up here. It just kept sliding down, and the gear punctured it. That's why it's almost empty. And he was also saying, well, at least you're not going to get a flat tire. I told him I'm just going to ride this until I destroyed it. And I did destroy it about 10 miles after that. Or 5 miles after that. Wasn't keeping track of that. But I got 26 miles without wheels on this thing. I probably would have got more. This thing broke because I was purposely trying to break it over huge bumps. But now I have a few mile walk ahead of me because I am now out in the middle of nowhere. Thanks for watching. And also, I don't think I'll ever do this again, but I should have worn anti-vibration gloves. This is very bumpy. And most of the time I wasn't even sitting on the seat. The bumping and the vibrations coming off of this thing were so bad. And something else that this thing does, it makes your clothes a little bit dirty, your pants, because after this thing is wearing down, the dust coming off of the wheel from the pavement, it gets all over your pants. Well, this thing is completely useless now. I already scrapped it for what I wanted, and the vibrations were so bad on this thing. As I was going, screws were falling out of it. The bolt holding one of the back brakes, it just let loose. I don't even know where that fell off. As I was riding, I saw the front reflector that was bolted here. It fell off. A lot of vibrations from this thing. Hey, I got this bike here. I took the tires off it. This bike has had a lot of issues for a long time, and the cost to repair those issues is almost as much as the bike is worth. So I got a new bicycle, and this one here is where its issues were. The ball bearings inside the joint here, they're all shattered and crushed, so the wheel runs crooked and grinds against the frame when there's a tire on it. So I'm going to see how long I can ride on a bare rim before I can't ride it anymore. I predict that it's going to wear down so thin that it just folds. I'm going to see how many miles I can get this thing to go. It's actually very loud, and there's also no protection, so if I happen to hit a bump, it's probably just going to dent the wheel, and that will be the end of it. The brakes still work on it fine. I was told by some people that it would be like riding on a frozen lake. It is not like that at all. This thing gets great traction. Traction is absolutely fine. I tried slamming on the brakes. It doesn't slide. You can go around corners, pretty good corners with it without sliding. It works. Now I'm gonna ride. I'm predicting that it'll last 5 miles. Somebody just told me that they think it'll last 15. And look at this, there's no kickstand on this. The bare rims allow it to stand on its own. This is what it sounds like.